Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria, coming from outer space.
Oh, I like that. I want to be outer space. And I'm
Yes,
Rosetta, not outer space, in Campbell, California. Thanks.
yes,
Yes, thanks everyone for checking out our chat this week. And as we always say, if you like our chats, hit the thumbs up icon, subscribe below. And if you don't want to miss any of our chats, why not hit that notification bell button and you'll be notified whenever any of our chats are ready for you to watch.
yes,
Okay, all right. Okay, let's start.
yes,
I'm a bit out of sorts today. We're going to start with our teas. Okay.
yes, ma'am.
So I'm drinking another one I love, which is my ginger turmeric herbal tea supplement, organic. There it is.
Yes.
I just have so many ginger, turmeric, and with the licorice, black pepper, that's all in most of what I have. I need to change this up and buy something different. But yeah, this has ginger, turmeric, licorice root, sweet orange peel, and black pepper fruit. So that's what I'm drinking. I have it steeped. And today I made it iced. I felt like an iced tea. So that's what I made it into. So cheers, everybody, for watching. Cheers, Gloria.
Cheers,
Thank
cheers.
you. And what are you drinking today?
Well, like you, even though I did go out and I bought a different tea, I just wasn't feeling it today. I've been all out of sorts. So in honor of our wonderful grapes of California, I went back to my Radiant Beauty. Okay, are you going to show? There we go. There we go. Radiant Beauty.
Radiant Beauty. I love it.
Yes, this is
Berry.
the aloe vera, acelera, rosehip, and elderberries, and of course blueberries. I love it because it's simple and it's just perfect. So once again, cheers, my dear.
Cheers, everyone.
As we always like to do, we kick off our show, our chats with Ellen. Ellen always reminds us to be kind to one another and to listen to one another. Her show is back on. She has been really spending a lot of time with wonderful people helping to clarify a lot of what was going on during the summer, because she says that everything, it's her name on the marquee. It's her responsibility. So I think that is pretty awesome. I think that's wonderful. So Ellen, welcome back. Thank you for your continued love and support.
Yes, thanks, Helen. We really like it. Have something to look forward to watching. And I love Twitch. Twitch is a great, he's always been, to me, a great addition to the show ever since he joined. And I like the fact that Allison, his wife, is on the show now and again. And you did
Yes.
mention that she did come on the show last week, the opening grand week. And she was it last week or this week? Well,
I'm
it's
trying
only
to
day
I
two
think
of the
it was last week because it was Friday, and Twitch, well, it was the day when they messed up, and even though it said the Kelly Clarkson show, it was actually the Ellen show. So it was a very weird thing that happened that day. However, Allison was there and she danced with Twitch, and then she sat at the DJ booth and Twitch sat in Ellen's spot and did the show. So it was
night.
great. Yeah, it was
Yes.
great.
Yes.
Yes. So moving right into current events, as we all know, Wendy is back. And so I was talking to Rosetta and I said, okay, I'm going to blow your mind. So, she always talks about, current events, what's going on in the world today. Apparently, Dr. Dre, of the infamous Dr. Dre, who sold his beats to Apple Computer for, I think it was $1 billion or $3 billion, because there's multiple partners. Anyway, he ended up with $1 billion himself. So unfortunately, him and his wife are going through a little divorce. Now, what happened is she decided to tell him, if we're going to get a divorce, I want to be kept in the lifestyle that I am already accustomed to. So here are my demands. This is what I want from you. So I said to Rosetta, what would you think if someone said to you, I want an allowance or I want a monthly expense of $2 million a month? And a breakdown of that, just to kick it off, $135,000 a month for clothes, $10,000 a month for laundry and cleaning, $20,000 a month for telephone, cell phone, and email, and then a little something for entertainment, $900,000. So of course, Norman, who is Wendy's go-to guy on her show, Norman was like, what could you spend $900,000 on a month? He goes, I pay $15 a month for Netflix and I'm happy. And I'm like, Norman, I mean, she should have the best AT&T, Verizon, whoever her carrier is, service on the planet. I get upset about spending $50 a month for a phone. $20,000? That's a lot of money.
Yeah, we don't know. What is she? I don't understand. What is she spending that money on? It doesn't make sense.
I know.
And especially now we have this pandemic. I mean, what is she? She's not inviting. She's not having events and parties and things. What is she doing?
Right. And even when she's having events and parties and things like that, you still have to think about what kind of food costs 900. I mean, chef whoever, I want you to prepare dinner and here's your budget, $100,000. I would make the food look real pretty, spend about $10,000 and pocket the rest.
Well, I think that she must be like thinking pre-COVID, because
I know,
right?
You're like, I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think 2 million is a bit extravagant. I mean, she must be, I think she's, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that 2 million is expected expenditure after the COVID. That's what I'm thinking.
To rebuild her connection with people.
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, I like your suggestion, so we're gonna let her have it.
Yes.
There also was some interesting information today in that I think it was yesterday, Monday, information started swirling around that they have somehow started getting access to President Trump's taxes. And in 2016, and granted, that was the year that he was elected, he spent $750 in taxes. And then the next year, 2017, he spent $750 in taxes. I'm just speechless. I mean, I understand that, nobody likes taxes. However, taxes is what makes the world go around. Taxes is what pays for services and different things that we all need to survive. And I just think everybody should just step up. And I thought it was interesting. Ted Cruz was on The View, and Ted Cruz said, I've been trying for years to have a flat 10% across the board. Everybody pays 10%. And I'm like, okay, you're going to still have to figure out a way where people do not abuse the law and everybody pays their taxes. So what do you think of that, Rosetta? $750. I mean, not a whole lot compared to someone who's a billionaire.
That's ridiculous. And it's not no 750. I don't know how that happened, that he only gets paid 750. And that is something that someone would pay if they're earning 20,000 a year. And
yeah,
that that's not possible for him. And he said that every time they ask him for his tax returns, his response is, well, I'm going through an audit. I'm going through an audit. But
yeah.
that doesn't stop you. Just because you're going through an audit does not stop you from showing your taxes, because his IRS commissioner said that up front. That does not stop you from showing your tax returns. So whatever excuse he's making, it's not a good excuse, and we know he's trying to hide something. 700. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we all know it's kind of redonkulous, 700
Yeah.
miles. So don't know what else to say. That's all I've got to say.
Okay. Well, something interesting is going on. You know, we all know Michael Jordan, you know, the GOAT of basketball, the man that many young men look up to today when it comes to exceptional basketball. Well, he has decided to join the NASCAR family. And he and a gentleman named Hamlin, the two of them are buying a car, and they're going to have Bubba Wallace as their driver. So at the end of the season, Bubba Wallace will be leaving, what is his name? Richard Petty's. Richard Petty is like, woo, very, 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 very rich. Richard Petty owns Lexus. A lot of people don't know that. So it's going to be very interesting to see what it's like to have a Black owner with a Black race car driver. I think it's probably going to be the first time in history this has ever happened.
I think it'll be great. It'll be a new, it'll be a new standard, I think. I think he's going to start something new. And I think that, well, I don't know. I don't want to say, but it is very expensive for you to have your own car and your own driver and everything. And good for him. Good for him. Start something new and set the standard, new standard.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so Rosetta was so cute because, you know, she wanted to share with me that the Heat and the Lakers are going into the final two. And I was laughing because I thought, okay. And then she says to me, oh, that's right. You don't follow basketball. And I was like, not really, not really. And the Warriors are out of it. So no, not really. However, we want to wish both teams good luck as they go forward into this championship. And I think it's interesting that LeBron James came from the Heat to the Lakers. So now, will they have changed their whole dynamics so that he doesn't know the plays? Or are they going to think he's so busy trying to do his new stuff, he's going to forget how we used to play? Interesting, don't you think?
Yeah, it'll be kind of like when KD moved from Orlando to the Warriors. Same thing, right?
Yes.
It'll be the same
Yes.
thing. I think it's, well, that was a while ago. He was on the Heat. So I think it'll be different this time. But we don't know because LeBron James is very unpredictable, as we
Yes.
can see when he was in his old team.
Yes. So for those that love basketball, it's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, and I asked my son, because I'm not on the up and up on all the teams and how good they are this season. And I said, well, who do you think has a lead, has a, what do you call it, has an advantage? Who is the better team? He said, it's neck and neck. It's anyone's game. So it'll be exciting.
I love it when it's that way versus someone that just like runs away. You know, I was watching, everybody knows the NFL. I'm a football girl, so I was watching the game last night because it was a repeat of the Super Bowl. It was the Panthers versus Kansas City. And they're both young quarterbacks. That young man from Kansas City, Mahomes, I mean, he's like little Superman on the field. He can run, he can throw, he can lateral a pass, and it just looks like he's just flinging his arms, and all of a sudden the guy catches the ball and runs. The biggest event of the night came when one of the Ravens caught on the kickoff. He caught the ball and he ran it back 93 yards for a touchdown. That was the first touchdown on the Ravens side of the night. So I noticed the coaches are being much more careful with those masks after getting those $100,000 fines.
So they should be.
Yeah. And I love it. I mean, they fined 2, and I guess that wasn't good enough. So they fined another 3. And it was, I mean, even if they would take the mask down and yell, they put it right back up. So they're doing much better, and they're more cognizant of wearing the mask. So good job.
Good for them. Good job. You've learned your lesson.
Yes. So there's a gentleman by the name of Dax Shepard, and he's married to Kristen Bell, and he has a podcast show. And on his podcast show over the weekend, he came out to his partner and said that, you know, he's kind of like a liar. He has been celebrating sobriety for 16 years. And he shared with her 8 years into those 16, he had a lapse. And then he went from that to most recently, he was taking care of his dad who had cancer. And so some people don't know this, but when you get close to the end of life, they medicate them to the point that they don't feel the pain, because cancer is very bad. I went through this with my aunt, and that's why you feel and hear my emotions, because we were giving her, she had a pump, and you would pump to give her, if she would, you know, flinch, we would know she's in pain, and we would just give her a little pump and it would calm down. Well, Dax was giving his dad pills, and it sounds like he thought he could take a pill too. Give dad a Valium, I take a Valium. You know, I'm still being a good father. I'm sheltered at home with my kids. I'm making sure they're doing their homework. I'm making sure the family is being fed. And it just got out of control. So he has gone from 16 years of sobriety to 7 days. And I know that has to hurt his heart and his wife's heart.
I can't believe it. 16 years. I mean, you would think after 16 years, that would be it. I can understand the 8 years or 5 years, but 16 years? Wow. Right. I mean, for him to like go back into that, I think it's very devastating. I think something very devastating must have happened. And that devastating thing was his dad going through the cancer. And that's probably what was the last straw, that he was trying to hold it together for his dad, and he couldn't hold it any longer. And I think that's what he gave into. And it's really sad. And I really feel for Kristen Bell, because I'm not even sure how long they've been married, but for him to be like clean all this time, and all of a sudden she must, I don't know what, her mind must be, she must be so devastated and you know, just, I don't know. I just put myself in her situation. That happened to my husband after 16 years, and all of a sudden relapsing. It's like your whole world comes down, because you're thinking, wow, he's relapsed. Is it, it's an unknown, because relapse is always an unknown for anyone that is on pills, taking drugs, alcohol. You don't know if it is, oh, you change your background again.
Yes, I decided to come back to planet Earth so I could be with my girl Rosetta.
Okay. All right, that's nice. I like that. It's bright, that background.
Yes, I know we're kind of sad, so I thought let's brighten it up a little.
Oh, let's brighten it up. I know it's one of those days. But as I was saying, it's an unknown, because when anyone relapses, you don't know how bad it's going to be.
Yes.
So I'm thinking of you, Kristen, and my thoughts and prayers going out to you and to your husband, hoping that, you know, it doesn't turn into something that's uncontrolled.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. So some people call it bad weather. Rosetta and I call it global warming. And, you know, the hurricanes are still continuing off the East Coast. They are still having rain. I was talking to my family, and they're like, it's raining. It's not torrential rains like it was before. Depending upon how the weather shifts, the hurricane, the possible hurricanes are off the coast. So they don't know if they're going to come in and make landfall, if they'll, you know, break down over the oceans or what. So for them, we continue to send our thoughts and prayers to them all. And here in California, Rosetta and I are so sad. That's why I decided to change my background, because we'd probably start crying. We are having so many fires in California. And Northern California right now, Napa, California, St. Helena, California. They, as of yesterday, they were burning about 1,000 acres an hour, no containment. People were being evacuated, and they said that they could see the fires coming over the mountain, and there was nothing that they could do. Some of the most wonderful vineyards are and hotels are just gone. You know, it's even after COVID, you know, we all thought COVID was bad. And then we got the heat and we thought, okay, ooh, that's really bad. And now we have the fires, you know, and it's just one layer on top of the other on top of the other. And, you know, you try and stay positive, and you know, you keep putting one foot in front of the other. This week has been hard. This has been a hard week.
Yes, it's been a really hard week because, you know, these fires all started in August, and I've been kind of, yes, it's devastating, but I haven't been touched as much as I have this week, because there was a fire that started in Napa Saturday into Sunday morning, and it's been spreading, and it was very, very fast, and thousands of people had to be evacuated very, very quickly. And that's the one that Gloria is talking about. A lot of wineries and resorts have been burnt down because of this. And, you know, I think the reason why me and Gloria are not, we're kind of in sorts and not really like, we're usually really like, you know, cheery and everything. But I think that we're in California and it's playing a toll on us, and it's really affecting us. It's affecting me. And today I'm like, I even posted on Facebook, like, I'm devastated. Thousands of things have, you know, the sheer devastation it's caused and the number of people being evacuated. I'm just praying and keeping positive prayers, because we do hear about all these fires, but when this one in Napa happened, it was like, this was huge, huge, huge. And the one in St. Helena is huge.
Huge.
And I'm thinking, gosh, this could be in my backyard and I could be evacuated anytime soon. It's really hitting home real quick, because I'm like, wow, what if this happened in our backyard and we were told to evacuate, like now, right now, like if you got a phone call or they come to the door, another fire has started. When is this going to stop? I'm just praying and praying and giving positive thoughts that the fires will end.
And, you know, Rosetta and I, we were also talking because, you know, she's got a forward-thinking husband, and so he has a bag. And in the bag, they have food and water and, you know, clothing. And, you know, we started talking, and it's like, okay, there's clothing, but is there all the things that a girl would need if she had to go on the run? You know, and we have a double-edged sword. So right now, you would think, oh my God, if I didn't have access to my credit cards or whatever, I need to make sure I put money in the bag so I can buy things. Due to COVID, a lot of establishments are like, I don't want to touch money, card only. You can use a debit card or a credit card, but no cash. So that would be a conflict. And it's just, you know, you always think about it. And I told my husband, I said, you know, those bags that we have in the car, when did we put them in the car? And he was like, oh, you know, 10, 12 years ago. I said, well, those protein bars are probably dead by now. And so, you know, Rosetta and I, we just started thinking, you know, what do we do and how do we, you know, just prepare ourselves? Because I mean, I love Napa. I love just going up there and taking a picnic basket and buying a nice bottle of wine. My sister and I, and you know, our husbands don't drink, so they just drive. And my sister and I, you know, we'd have a little toast here, or we would do wine tasting and, you know, have a little food before we head home. It's just such a sweet, relaxed environment. And I mean, when you see them in their cars and they're talking about the devastation, the people who are being affected, as well as the fire persons, there are tears in their eyes. It's just really, really sad.
Yeah, what
Really sad.
Yes, I was watching the news and they interviewed this lady who she had to get out really, really quick. She left just with her underwear on. That's how
Yeah.
she left, and she said that she didn't bring anything with her, nothing, not even her cell phone. And I think that, if I'm correct, she tried to go in her car because they were going to drive, but they couldn't. And she has a dog, and she had the dog in the car, but when they found out they couldn't drive, she opened the car door and the dog ran away. So she's not
Right.
been able to find her dog. And she said he has a dog tag, but the bad thing is she doesn't have her cell phone. So if anyone
Exactly.
wants to contact her, they're not going to be able to. So that's, you could just see how devastated she was. And she was like, if she wasn't being interviewed, she would have broken down into tears. She was just devastated, just seeing the frantic nature of how she was. That just, yeah, it's really hit hard. Today is the hardest, which is why I'm not as bubbly as I usually am, but I'm trying the best I can, because I think I'm getting tired of this. I mean, it's all
Yeah.
taking a toll on us. It's too much. Like, we think the fires, like the air quality hasn't been as bad. And I thought that we were starting to, get better air quality and things were starting to die down. But all of a sudden you get these fires in Napa, and all of a sudden we never know where the direction of the wind.
Yeah.
That's an
Yeah.
unknown.
We're back stocked in again. We've got smoke.
Yeah. So in
And
California,
and if that wasn't enough, that around 9:30 a.m. this morning, earthquake. Okay, so now we've got it all. So
yeah,
we
I
had an
didn't feel
earthquake in
that.
Milpitas, and then about a half an hour later, we had an earthquake in Livermore. And about 20 minutes after that, they had another one. Now, these quakes are, Milpitas, I think, was 3.3, and the ones in Livermore were 2.2. So if you're walking, you might not have felt it. But if you were sitting, it feels like you're sitting down and a truck, like a big truck, goes right past your house. You know how they just give it just a little tremor. So it's not a devastating earthquake. However, it's just another layer. That's the last thing we need right now when we're trying to have the firefighters put out fires, is to all of a sudden start having earthquakes. So, dear God, please, please, please just give us a break.
Yeah, anyone watching this chat of ours, please, if you're not from California, even if you are, please pray, send positive thoughts to California, because we really need it.
Yeah.
We really, really do.
Yes, we do. And, we want our children to be careful while they're out protesting in America right now. I am so proud of the peaceful protesters. I'm not proud of the thugs. I'm not proud of the people who wait till at night and do all these devastating things and breaking windows. And at least the law enforcement of these locations are coming out and saying, let me tell you something, this is not the locals. These are people coming from other states that's just causing chaos. So we want everyone to be careful. People were not very pleased with the results of the Breonna Taylor case. The Kentucky Attorney General, his name is Daniel Cameron, and he didn't even mention her name during the case against the officers. He talked about the fact that they, with like reckless abandonment, they shot into the complex. So for the bullets that went into the Caucasian tenants, they had 3 cases that were filed against one officer. The fact that Breonna Taylor was hit and killed, no mention. So of course people were very upset, and the protesting continues. I've even heard people say that the Kentucky Attorney General is the granddaughter of Mitch McConnell's husband. So there's all of this unrest and information. So one of the local jurors has come out and said, I think all of this should be released to the public, all of the court information, because this person doesn't agree that the Attorney General represented what the jurors felt in this case. So we'll kind of keep you up to date on that, just to let you know that we are staying on top of it, but we don't really know a lot more right now because the FBI is still investigating, and we hope they'll bring more information to the case.
Yeah, and I was doing some investigation, and I did not know this, but Gloria knew this already, that from the time when they shot Breonna Taylor, she had injuries, and it was about 5 to 6 minutes where they didn't do anything. They didn't try and put compression on her. They didn't call not 911, the ambulance or anything.
Right.
So
Yeah, they
they
didn't call
just left her.
911 either. They
Yeah,
didn't
they
call
just left her.
911. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did not know that, and I'm reading that, I'm quite surprised and a bit angry.
Yeah.
Because I was just saying to Gloria that if they knew they had done something wrong, there's nothing wrong with admitting you've done something wrong and trying to rectify the situation.
Exactly.
I give big props to police who know they've done something wrong and they try and rectify the situation.
Yes.
And they did the best they could, but these policemen did not. So that was shocking to me, and I'm quite disgusted, actually.
Yeah. I mean, once I was telling Rosetta, I love SWAT. I love the movie SWAT with Samuel Jackson, and I love the TV SWAT with Shamar Moore. And one thing I always love is before they enter someplace, they always confirm the location. Even while they're traveling, they tell the person, there's a name for the person that's on the desk in the office, and they will check in and they'll say, we're at the corner of da-da-da and da-da-da. We're 5 minutes out. We're 10 minutes out. If they had done any of that, they would have found they were at the wrong location and that the person that they were going to arrest had already been arrested. So
right.
that's why the mom is just like, you don't understand. You killed my child.
Right.
You killed my child.
And that location was 10 miles away from the real location they were meant to be at. So it wasn't anywhere close to where Breonna Taylor's house was.
Yeah. So we'll keep you up to date on that. And then before we get to our last topic, we want to remind everyone, please, please, please continue to wear your mask. Rosetta and I, we're always looking at people that wear masks because, we know the bandanas don't work. We've seen the test with the green. They do these sort of like, they call them 3D. So the room is black and they have the person cough or sneeze. And they have proven over and over, bandanas are not that secure. And you want to make sure they're as snug to your face as possible. And we see masks and they have big gaps on the sides, or they don't have the metal to clamp down on the nose. And so, there's just more opportunity for the droplets to pass.
Right.
However, we know if you wear the mask, it will help save lives. And Rosetta shared with me that right now, the total cases, we have nearly 1 million loss of lives, 1 million worldwide loss of lives, 33 million confirmed COVID-19 cases. And the United States right now today is currently experiencing 40,000 new cases a day. Americans, please hear me. Anything that's going on in Washington, D.C., we can fix. The fact that we are being lied to about this COVID and the number of cases and how the CDC comes out and they said, oh my God, we have an uptick and this is what's going on. And then they have to take it down off the website, or they have to come back and say, oh, we misspoke. No, you didn't. You did the right thing, but now you're being told by someone in Washington, D.C. not to say that. If we keep doing the same thing, which is not wearing a mask, not doing social distancing, just being rampant, being mad and angry and nasty to people, why do you think that anything is going to change? So I had Rosetta laughing at me because I told her, I said, in the Bible, they're always talking about, like the first time the world was destroyed was due to water, rain. And this time it will be due to fire. Well, if you talk to people in California, we can tell you, we know what they're talking about because we got fire and we have heat. And we have sort of what they call the phantom back then. And that's what we call our plague. And our plague is COVID-19. And then you put on top of that the earthquakes. So please, people of the world, slow down. Learn to love and be kind to one another. It is essential for our existence on the planet Earth. You must stop acting out. It doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't work.
Yep. And can I just say a quick thing about these? Any of you watching out there, or you know someone that makes masks, I want to talk about the masks. If you're making it and you're trying to sell them, please make sure you're doing it right. Because I was at a farmer's market a couple weeks ago and this lady was selling masks. They were beautiful. They had so many different designs and any, whatever suits you. If you like cats or if you love hearts, whatever. She had a ton of them. The only challenge I had, and I was ready to buy one, but I didn't because, again, like Gloria said, they didn't have the pocket for the filter, or it wasn't thick enough for the filter, or to put a filter in there, and they didn't have the nose piece. And the thing that worried me was she was wearing one of her masks, and it was underneath her nose. So it had already slipped down.
Yeah.
Why would you be showing your masks when they're not even covering your nose?
Thank you. You're not wearing it properly. I agree.
Yeah, so if you're making masks, please make sure that you know what materials to use, and you have the nose bridge thing. What is it? The metal thing that you can push down so it becomes secure around your nose and your mouth. That's what we're looking for.
Absolutely.
That's what I have to say, because I did see that, and that kind of got me concerned. How is she going to be selling those masks? And people watching, this is something, a lesson to learn. Don't buy masks that don't have that nose bridge or are thick enough, because they say that cotton material is, if it's porous, it won't protect you either.
Right. So there's a lot going on today in California, as well as the world. Two things. Number one, because everything's so heavy, we didn't want to go too deep in it, but we do want to acknowledge that the president on Saturday appointed his nominee for Supreme Court Justice to replace Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And her name is Amy Coney Barrett. Rosetta and I are going to do our research, and next week we're going to kind of dwell a little bit more into who she is, what she thinks, what her philosophy is. Tonight, all over the United States, we have the first presidential debate between Vice President Biden and President Trump. So I hope you're all going to be somewhere in front of a television or a radio at 6 p.m. so that you can check it out. We would love for you to comment below and let us know what you think. I promise you, we will be talking about it next week during our chat. So always remember that October 19th is the last day to register to vote in the general election of November 3rd. Here in Northern California, the SAP Center and the Levi Stadium are going to use their facilities to allow people to vote in person. So instead of those little small areas where we normally go, they're going to be big, huge areas, because people are not feeling so comfortable with the United States Postal Service, not because of them, however, because Washington, D.C. put its foot on their neck, shut down their automation, their online circulations of mail. It's like they need to be maintained. Okay, really. They know what they're doing. My mail used to get to my home around 11 o'clock. It's not getting here until sometimes 7 p.m. at night. So they are truly impacted. So Rosetta and I, we've been saying what we're going to do is we're going to get our mail-in ballots, we're going to fill them out, and then we're going to take them in and turn them in so that we know they will be counted. And we hope you do the same thing. Let your voice be heard. If you're tired of what's going on in the United States of America, it's time to vote. If you like what you got, it's time to vote. Everybody has to show up. And I think the last stat I heard, 37% of the population that's available to vote in this election is primarily Gen X and millennials. So you're marching in the street because you're tired of what you're seeing. Go to the polls and let everybody in Washington, D.C. know you're tired of what you're seeing.
Please make sure everybody, if you're not registered, please register to vote. Your vote is your voice. And we need to, as women, as we said before, it's 51% of the votes. We need to get out there and vote. Hashtag vote 2020.
Yes. Yes. Hashtag vote 2020. We want you to, you know, if it wasn't a shame, I think I might by next week. I'm going to try because I love doing art with my makeup and see if I can do a hashtag vote 2020 on my cheek.
Yeah, great. I would love to see that. You go
well, we're going to see if I can make that happen.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very, very good.
Yes. So thank you all very much for tuning in and allowing us to share our pain and our passion and our love for people and for the world and for the people of Napa and St. Helena. We are with you. We feel you. We as soon as possible, we will be there to support your rebuild because we love you.
You are in our prayers and thoughts and everyone that's been evacuated. Thank you again so much, everyone, for watching our chat this week. We love you all. And please remember to like us. If you like this chat, subscribe and hit the bell notification. You are amazing, everyone. Take care.
Yes.
Stay safe. And remember to
always
keep smiling.
Keep smiling.
Take care. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.